Hi, welcome to Brief Live. I'm your host, Dara Adams. I am the founder and CEO of Made for More, which is the meeting place for women on assignment and also the place where you become your greatest asset. And I am so excited to introduce my former boss, Joseph Verble. All these things that you see that I'm doing, that's technology. I did not do these things until I stepped foot on the campus of St. Xavier University in Chicago. And meeting this guy here has really just catapulted all of my skill sets, the way that I treat my business, the way that I walk through life. He has been a major foundation in that. But we're going to get to all the good and the hilarious things that's happened over the course, 15 years almost. Of our meeting. But Joe, please introduce yourself, what you do, all those technical terms, lay them out for us. Let us know what it really means in real life.
Sure. I'm Joe Verble. I'm currently the project manager for the College of Nursing at Purdue University Northwest. I've been there for almost 8 years now, which is longer than my run at St. Xavier being a professional where we first worked together. And currently live in Illinois, married with two kids. And, at my time at St. Xavier, I acquired three master's degrees because I'm a glutton for punishment. And um, just living life day by day and being a problem solver, helping people and making sure that they have a good experience day in and day out, and if I can leave them laughing a little bit.
Love that. Laughing. Yes, absolutely. So he already mentioned it, problem solver. Back in the day, we had some other words that went before that, but Joe was the ultimate problem solver. And I introduced myself as his problem solver junior because Joe, I promise you, it would look like Joe adopted me. I was like his little black kid. Everywhere Joe went, I went, okay, because I wanted to know. And the beautiful thing about Joe is he saw that my mind was inquisitive. I wanted to know. I wanted to be the boss of everything. And instead of being like, sit down and be quiet and you'll get your chance one day, he's like, you know what? Look, if you want to know something, let me teach you how to do it right. So you're not out here looking crazy. So one of the questions, I asked you about was like how, one of the things you wanted to talk about, I led in that space so that you could tell me what was on your heart. And you talked about just connecting with people and how your impact and being who you are impacts other people. Can you talk about, the importance of that and what that means to you?
Yeah, I think especially everybody has their own different experiences, and we work in technology, especially at that time. I'm thinking to myself, this isn't, I don't work in technology, I work with people. Technology just happens to be the tool. And if I'm hiring somebody, or I'm looking for people skills. The technology stuff is easy, it can be learned. I want people who can work with others and can learn stuff quickly. And you look for the intangible stuff. There's a lot of people who can do the same stuff over and over again, but who's going to show up? Who's going to have the right attitude? Who's going to make a difference? Who's going to be the person that other people look forward to seeing? And that was something I try to instill in the people that I work with. That you know, be your best at any given moment. Um, yeah, it's hard being a college student and working this job and trying to take care of all these things in your life that's going on. But just for a brief moment, you got to show up and give it your best.
Yeah. I love that. Come on, play on words for a brief moment. See? See what you did there, knee slapper. Love that. So, just knowing, our relationship in college, how difficult was it for you? And I don't know our age difference. But I don't know. I've never asked you, but how difficult was it for you to navigate working with people who are becoming adults? You were coming into your career and like really owning what it is that you wanted to do. How difficult was it to work with people like me in college who you saw potential in, but you were always also trying to reach your own, heights and potential?
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. There's moments where there's like more of like a cultural disconnect with some people.
Mm,
Like I remember talking about something, they're like, "Well, what's that?" I'm like, I thought everybody
mhm.
knows what that is. But to me, my big experience with the students is to relate to them, because I may teach you something, but I'm going to also learn a lot from you as well. And if you're not receptive to that, you're kind of doing yourself a disservice. So,
Mhm.
and I loved it, like having student workers and the tech program and everything that we had. I learned so much from so many different people, and we had characters with character that, at the very least kept us entertained. But and then you look at a lot of the people now. I mean, there's people that I work with, like, they're doctors and they got PhDs and they've led these amazing lives. And I'm thinking to myself, you know, I'm not taking credit by any means, but I got to be a small sliver of their journey to
Mhm.
where they are now. And it's like, that's amazing. Like, it blows my mind every time I think about
I love that. Yeah, and if you don't know the visual of, like, where we were in college, we were like we were like in a closet, okay? Like our space was so small. Like I don't know what was going. I mean, now they have a nice little desk and areas and air conditioning and carpet, right? We
it.
didn't
Yeah,
have that on the third floor. We were trekking equipment from floor to floor, from building to building. And I can remember the times where I kind of got beside myself and I was like upset because I'm like, why are our conditions like this? And you would be like, stop complaining, just do the work. I'm sick of y'all complaining. And I remember like, I've never seen you not like, you have like your serious side and then you have like your joking side, but that side you were like, y'all, I'm trying to build y'all as people. This has nothing
yeah,
to do with these carts we're rolling around. And I was like, oh my God, like, did I make Joe upset? And then when I saw I got over that, I was like, Joe is trying to teach me something.
that's right. And again, the people that you're working for, be it the students, staff, faculty, they don't care.
Hmm.
One of my favorite lines was from the old show Miami Vice, where Santiago, played by the great Edward James Olmos, said, "Keep your mourning in private. The streets have no sympathy." And I was like, that cuts pretty deep when you think
That's
about it.
so
It's like,
good.
no, nobody cares, man. It's you got to show up, you got to do your thing, and then you go back. And again, yeah, you're not going to get credit. You're not going to get a shower of confetti because you did your job. A lot of people don't. That's life, unfortunately. But you know, you have, regardless of where you are, you build a good work ethic because it'll stick with you wherever you go.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that leads into like you definitely had a private life when you popped up with a wife and these two babies. I'm like, Joe, Joe has a wife and two babies. How are you navigating, being married and being a father and still navigating your career and growing, going up the ladder in those spaces as well?
Well, first of all, a lot of credit to my wife, where we met working. Um, we
Hey.
weren't working together at first, but then we were dating at the time, and then she somewhat kicked me out, and I went elsewhere because we wanted to get married and everything. But the backbone of our relationship was working together because we just enjoyed helping each other. She taught me a bunch, I taught her a bunch, and that was the foundation of our relationship as people. And obviously it worked. And then now having a recently 6-year-old and a 9-month old
Oh,
is it's fun. I mean,
twins.
yeah, because then a lot of the lessons that I've been a part of in my life, I get to instill on them, and they're good kids. Everybody likes to see them. I just brought them up to work the day after Easter because they both had the day off, and I said I'm going to take the day off because it's kind of a little bit of a slow week. So I said, bring them up there. That as my daughter Emily would say, "Can we go see your work friends?"
Oh,
And I'm like,
Emily.
"Sure." And she's there giving people hugs and all that, and that's the main thing of a child, man. If people are looking forward to seeing you, you're doing something right.
I
And then
love that.
and career wise, I don't think it's too difficult to balance it. And of course, I'm done with school for now, at least. Um,
Dr.
the wife is
Joe.
still in, well, the wife is still in school. She's almost a doctor, and she's
Yeah.
slowly she's getting there. Hopefully by this year, but yeah, it's probably a little bit harder for her than it is for me. For me, I'm kind of a little bit on autopilot, just doing the work and just having fun with the kids. Because of course, they're not going to remember all this other stuff that you did at work and whatever. They're going to know the memories that you have with them, and I don't want to be not around, and I don't want to be
Yeah.
distant with them either. So,
Yeah. You're
and they're fun.
awesome. You're awesome. All those kids are your twins. I love that. And it really, this is a good segue because while we're airing out secrets, Joe is one of the one adult that knew that I had my kid everywhere with me at school and places that my kid probably should not have been. But I do remember a night in particular. I had to do a paper and I did not have a computer. And I was in the brand new lab, and you walked past and was like, "No, you're not supposed to be in here." But you were like, "Hear no evil, see no evil." And I had my kid. I made him a pallet on the floor, and all night we sat there and we did our work. I saw the security guard come past with his flashlight, and I was like if you did not, you could have been like, "Go home." Like, I have to
Yeah.
follow my rules, and that changed my life forever. And now everything that I do, I'm like, there's a way to get it done. There's no excuse, there's no reason. It's not to say that everybody has to baby you or make a way for you, but if you just follow the pursuit, things will move in a way that works out for you. And I remember that so distinctly, just him helping you, you helping him. And you can tell the story about, when he helped you. And I don't want to cry
Well,
today, but go ahead.
so what I remember was, it was probably when we were still up in the third floor because I think I was moving at the time, and I needed a bunch of cardboard boxes, and so I asked Jaden. I think it was like 5 or 6 or so at the time, or might have been. I forget the age specifically, but it was kind of a slow night, and I wanted to go down to the dock in the S wing because they usually leave out boxes, and then anybody from anywhere can pretty much come and grab
Hmm.
them. So I said, "Hey, do you want to go come and help me? I want to be a big helper, kind of thing." And so we grabbed one of the carts and we just put a bunch of boxes that the good ones that we could get, and just to sort of take some pressure off of you. And plus, it's a good, with children, you got to give them good experiences. And I thought that was a good experience for him to be like, "Hey, you're part of the team. Come on, let's go do some work." And work is a four-letter word, but it's not a bad one.
Yeah.
And so I was showing him, "Hey, we're doing something productive and everything." And I was very thankful. And he was always really good when he came up, and was never a problem. And he's turned out to be a really cool guy. So
I
you know,
love that.
kudos to
Now,
you.
thank you. Every day he says, "Mom, you got some work for me? You got some graphics for me? Can I clean your bathroom?" So I see the work ethic inside of him. He's like, "I don't want to be lazy. I don't." I've seen people do the work. I've seen you bring me to school when I wasn't supposed to be at school. He's like, there's something in him that's like, I have to be successful. It doesn't have to be the most grandest thing in the world, but I think people like you who came along the way that just said, "Hey, help me do this," showed him, that there's a space and a place for a little black Hispanic boy. He's mixed with all types of stuff. Black Hispanic boy out there. So I do have a funny question. If you were the president, what is the first thing that you would change? What's your Joe policy?
What would I change? Hmm, that's a good question. What would I change? I would prefer not to change anything. I mean, obviously, um, things were meant to be the way they were. I remember talking to somebody once, and I was saying, well, like at one point, I had gained a bunch of weight, and I subsequently lost it and stuff. And I said, like I would have done it sooner, but whatever. And this faculty member said to me, "What was going to happen when it was going to happen?" And I said, "Oh, well, I didn't think about it that way." You know, so obviously there's a reason why it happened, and there's a reason why you made a change. And people need that once in a while to realize that they need to make a change and then make the change.
That's so good.
But
That's a whole book.
yeah,
What? That's a whole book. Well, I'm going to spend this last few minutes giving you your flowers. So,
thank you.
Joe Verble, you have been an amazing mentor to me. You are one of the very few people in my life who I could listen to, right? I was very hard headed, very, very, very rebellious. But you were one of the people who walked with such just grace and dignity in your work. I saw how you maneuvered through your coworkers, your colleagues. I've seen how you maneuvered through the politics of school and work. I've seen how you maneuvered with people like us, hormones and attitudes. I saw I saw how you grew just in your conversation, just in your evolution of who you are as a man. I saw you fight for just a quality life. I saw you, stand in the gap for people who couldn't speak up for themselves. I saw you love on people who were not seemingly lovable. I saw you laugh with people who were absolutely not funny. I saw you support people in places where I probably personally felt like they didn't need to be supported. You've just been a great leader. You've been a great affirmer. I honestly, when I look at my life and I look at my business, I honestly can be like, you taught me tech. And I did not graduate on time. But you let me operate a whole graduation soundboard and main camera. Like you risked your whole job for me to do something that I was not qualified to do. And now I think I can just be messing with tech and putting graphics and music on and everything like that. So, as a woman, as a black woman who did not go to school for tech, you supported, funded, fueled just my dream to just do, to be, to become, to share, to show. And now I'm able to do that for other people. And I'm so, so, so grateful for you. I'm grateful and I'm proud of you. It may seem lonely sometimes, it may seem quiet sometimes, but I am silently over here rooting for you, cheering for you, praying for you, and hoping that God just gives you everything, that literally everything that comes to your mind, I hope the Lord gives to you, even through your music, through your relationships, through your wife, through your children, that you get to just sit and settle into who you are, and to know that if you never do another thing, everything you've done thus far is enough. You are amazing and you are awesome. And me, Dara Adams, I appreciate you.
I appreciate you too.
Woo! All right, y'all. Thank you so much again for being a part of this brief. I'm going to show you this picture. This is from the day that I should have graduated. I partially was having an identity crisis with this hair, earring, outfit situation. Don't know what's going on here. But the fact that I had Joe with me, even though I was not graduating, I still was full of smiles. I was still excited. He still made me feel like I was a part of the crew. You know, I did a year and a half more bid there. I was ready to get out of there. Joe surpassed me with about 2 masters by the time I graduated, but it was awesome. And if you would like to connect with Joe Verble, please connect with him on LinkedIn. He truly is the ultimate problem solver. I don't know if you're taking consultations, but I'd call him and just see what his brain can come up with, and get the help that you need with your technology, and things like that. And then also he makes music, so you might find something on there that he's over there jamming with his band. But I am so proud of you, Joe.
Soon enough, that'll be revealed very soon.
Yeah, and come to Nashville. Like, I'll go make a phone call or something and have your stage ready. Okay, I'm serious.
Will do.
All right. Thank you so much, you all, for attending Brief Live, and we'll see you next